Hi all. So 4 weeks ago I tipped a cup of tea on myself. So you might think that that can't do much damage, but believe me, it can. So I was sat here and I remember as soon as I did it, I was in agony. So I just jumped up, I stripped off, I jumped in the shower. Didn't really realise how bad it was. I just thought, oh, the pain will go. My wife calls the hospital and she explains basically what happened, because what I didn't know at this point is when I jumped up and stripped off, the skin of my thighs and my down below and the backs of my legs and everywhere I tipped the tea had basically just peeled off with my shorts, so there was like no skin down there left on. So I was in the shower, I was in so much agony. So she called the hospital and they said, yeah, you need to go in straight away, but she's heavily pregnant, so we didn't want to put her at risk by her taking me to the hospital. So we called my mother down to take me. So she came down, she took me, worst car journey in the world. I get to the hospital, I'm in a towel and a t-shirt at this point, and I'm screaming in agony. And I remember A&E was meant to be empty, but it was full. And I walk in and they could just see the pain I was in by my face, and they could hear the pain I was in. So they pulled me into this side room, and my pride had gone at this point, so I just dropped the towel and I could see the look on the nurse's face, and it wasn't great. And I started to think, oh, it might be serious then, because up until now I thought I didn't really need to go to the hospital, but if I did go, they'd probably just send me home with antibiotics. I thought the pain will go, but just the pain was just getting worse. And I remember, so I was laid on the bed, the doctor came in, he came in with an army of nurses, and at this point I was screaming in agony. It was just getting worse and worse and worse. So he's screaming different instructions at all the nurses. I need morphine, this other painkiller put in, I need a catheter put in, fluids and all the rest of it, and I need my legs bandaged up and this sort of cream put on them, or not sure what it was. And he said, we need to speak to Morrison Hospital, this plastic surgery ward, just to see what they say. Because usually in a situation like this, I would just be blue lighted to Morrison Hospital, but because of COVID and I'm asthmatic and everything else, that they didn't really want to put me at risk. So they'll wheel me straight into this ward, and for them to send pictures to Morrison Hospital where the burns were, the doctor came in and he said, do you want to take pictures on your phone and then email them across? But my mother had my phone, so he steps upside, and they were sort of downplaying what was going on to me. So he steps outside and he explains to my mother that basically I could lose my bladder because of where the burns are, because it'll swell, and there are other really long-term issues that could arise from this. So my mother basically just said to him, look, I'm praying for you and I'm praying for him, and it's going to be okay. I believe in the power of prayer. And he said, I'm a Christian, I believe it too. So he came back in, and at this point I was due to sort of have an operation in Morriston, be in 2 or 3 days. I could have other long-term damage. They just really didn't know. So I was there a few hours, and I know he kept coming back to reassess me, and then call Morriston again and come back and reassess me at Morriston. And then at this point, Anna, my mother, was texting everyone they knew just to get them to pray for me. And at 8 o'clock, I know that the text went out for everyone to just pray for me at our church and my mother's church. And then at 8:30, he came in and reassessed me, and he said, look, you're actually healing a lot better than anyone would have expected, and you're taken to the medication, you've taken to the sort of bandages they put on. And they spoke to Morrison, and Morrison have said, because of the recovery, they're happy for me to go home that night, no operation, just as long as they can take the catheter out and I can pass urine. And I thought, what a miracle, what a result. I thought, like, how can this be? They all day, I've just been told I'm gonna have an operation, or it'll probably be worse if I have to stay in the Royal Glam, and then to be told I can go home, just outstanding. So don't get me wrong, so I got sent home for a week. I couldn't really walk or move or sit down or do anything, so just laid there. And I kept having to go back every day for dressings and to have it reassessed, and every day I went back and they just couldn't get over the the recovery and how well it was healing, and I'm fine now. I'm just absolutely fine, and I just put that down to the power of prayer that night, just everyone praying, because what was spoken over me, to have an operation and everything, with Anna being pregnant, it was the worst case scenario. And then as soon as people start praying, I get sent home and I'm fine now. And just thank you all for praying, and thanks for listening.